Good morning. It's beautiful to be here with you this morning. So our opening song is May the light of the Spirit shine on me. May the light of the Spirit shine on you. Yes. All right. May the light of the Spirit shine on me. May the light of the Spirit shine on you. As God's grace and love make this a brighter world. May the light of the Spirit shine on. Let's sing together. May the light of the Spirit shine on me. May the light of the Spirit shine on you. As God's grace and love make this a brighter world. May the light of the Spirit shine on. And then we sing shine on. 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 May the light of the Spirit shine on. From the top. May the light of the Spirit shine on me. May the light of the Spirit shine on you. As God's grace and love make this a brighter world. May the light of the Spirit shine on. Let it shine. Shine on. 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 May the light of the Spirit shine on. May the light of the Spirit shine on.
Oh, yes. Thank you, LaRonda Steele, Mark. We're so happy to have both of you here and our glory singers. May the light of the Spirit shine on you, on me, on this world as we open to a larger vision of who we are as infinite creations of spirit and what it is that we have come to do, to be, and to know. So we welcome you this morning to Unity Spiritual Center of Portland, where we're actually learning to do a new kind of spiritual center, of church, both online and in person. And we welcome all of you as we gather with the realization that in consciousness, there is no space and time and matter. So whether we are in this space or we are somewhere else, we are connected. We recognize that we are all a part of an infinite field. And that sacred idea of gathering. I believe that as humanity, as we learn to be a tribe in a new way, as we learn to walk on this planet in a new way, gathering in community is one of the important pieces for us to open our hearts, to be a part of something larger. And so we welcome you this morning. We're going to begin this service in prayer, recognizing that all that we speak into this infinite field, it literally moves and shapes substance, is how Charles Fillmore, one of the co-founders of Unity, used to say. He called all of this matter. He called it substance. He said, we're not living in empty space. So if you thought that whatever you say or think or do it just goes out there and it doesn't have effect, I want us to remember that who we are, every one of us, is a part of this tapestry, and that we have purpose and we have power in what we think and say and do. And as we align that with the infinite within, we recreate a world that works for all. Let's begin this service in prayer. Mother, Father God, infinite Spirit, we open to the breath of life, to remembering, reinstalling the awareness that each of us is a creation of Spirit, each of us, and that we have light to shine this day. It has purpose, it has meaning, and we are a part of that movement. We come together in person and in consciousness, it's all consciousness, around this globe, holding a space of peace, of love, of understanding, of expansion, and of oneness. And as we gather in this knowing, we surround every being who is in pain, who wonders, who am I? Where do I go? How do I move through this day? We surround every being with this awareness and this consciousness of absolute love, acceptance, inclusion, holding a space in our hearts, knowing that each of us is a part of the one. As we say yes to this movement of Spirit, we say yes to this day and this life, and we are so blessed. And so it is. Amen. So we welcome you, and I want to share with you a little bit of what's happening. First of all, if you're new in this community, whether you're here or online, we want to welcome you. Unity Spiritual Center of Portland honors all paths, and we will meet you right where you are on your spiritual path. We believe all of this is a sacred journey we're walking, and what a wonderful opportunity for us to do that. If you're here, in the seat back in front of you, it may be a distance away, but there is a green card. I'd invite you to fill it out. If you've been here for a while and you haven't filled it out, or you've moved in the last 16 months, which we're finding out about half of the people have, fill out a new one. It gives some information that we can put you on our mailing list, but also we just want to welcome you. And if you're online, you can go on to unityofportland.org, and the website is there. So please do that. We welcome you. We wanted to again welcome LaRonda Steele and Mark Steele, and she has CDs out in the entryway today. So I invite you to stop and look at those. LaRonda brings us a gift of spirit that it's just a delight to have her with us. So we're grateful for who you are and what you do. And by the way, if you look on her website and other places, you can see her around town and go see her in so many different venues. It's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to September 18th, I think it is, with Nina Simone and your performance there at the Alberta Rose Theater. It's a great opportunity to look at just it's a lot of fun. You know, part of life is fun. Next Sunday, July 18th, is a special day for us. We are going to get to both hear a message by Reverend Sydney and also say goodbye and wish her well on her way. She has accepted a ministerial position, an associate minister position in North Hollywood. So she's actually going back to the church she came out of, the CSL in North Hollywood. And what a wonderful gift. We will miss her. I'd invite you, there's a book out in the entryway that I believe just came in that Carol brought in today that is, you can sign it, send her blessings. If you have any pictures of yourself you want to bring, we can put it in there next week. We're just sending her off with lots of blessing and things. And I've had several people say, oh, I have really funny pictures of Sydney. Bring them in. We're going to put them in there also, just so she remembers the love and the light that she brought. And there'll be a short, just a time to gather and celebrate her after the service. So if you want to come for that too, that'll start right after the service. July 25th, right after this service. So 2 weeks from today, we'll actually be having a congregational meeting. For those of you who are members, there'll be a vote, and you'll be getting a letter about that. But just some of what's happened during the pandemic and where we are and where we're moving, it's open to everyone, and we'd invite you to be here. So that'll be July 25th at 11:15 a.m. And we have, let's see, our community outreach is starting their next project. One of the places that we work with extensively is the Community Transitional School. That is a school for children who are youth, who are experiencing houselessness. So there's a list. There's actually a list out in the entryway that you can pick up, but it's books for youth and teens, Sharpie packs, 24-count Crayola crayons, copy paper, snacks. They have a whole list of hygiene products, non-perishable foods. Every Friday, I know, and I believe it happens a couple other days during the week, these kids go home with backpacks of food that will help them through the weekend. So the transitional school has done this for years, and they're doing a fabulous job with what they're doing. So please be a part of that. You can bring it in. There'll be big boxes out in the entryway. August 1st is our ice cream social. We are actually moving back into it's our garden team's annual. This is like annual, and this is the first time we're doing it. We're actually doing an event that you can tell how excited I am that we haven't been doing in 16 months. So that'll be out in the garden to celebrate our beautiful garden. If you haven't walked out there, it is a wonderful opportunity to meditate, to celebrate, to just be there. So we invite you to join us for that. Lots of things happening. We are also looking for transportation angels. There are several people in this community who can no longer drive in and have asked for support. I know that if you live in Milwaukee, Vancouver, Gresham, and would be willing to do it, whether it's once a month or weekly, please contact the office. And we are grateful for all that is happening. We have prayer chaplains available to pray with you after the service. So I wanted to just move on to our congregational song. We are celebrating being in this space and together, whether it's online or in person, being together and recognizing the truth of who we are. Just that we are all one. All right.
Thank you. So we invite you to stand with us. And this is really exciting because I'm for the past 16 months, kind of been up here by myself. So I have these lovely beings who are singing with me, and thank you so much for that. And we thank Leah for getting the corrected lyrics. She's a miracle worker. All right, Holy, Holy Way by Ricky Byers Beckwith. It's a call and response. So I call and you do what? Oh my goodness. All right. You can sway in that beautiful body that you are in. Smile, loosen up as we sing together. All right. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around me. No, let me know that love is all around me. Oh, let me know that love is all around me. Let me know that love is all around me. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fall. Let me learn from all the ways I fall. Oh, let me know that love will heal us all. Let me know that love will heal us all. Oh, let me walk each day a little wiser. Let me walk each day a little wiser. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And I just invite you to look around you if you haven't and recognize you are walking with the infinite, with sacred beings, as we say, Namaste. The divine in me greets the divine in you. All right. And as we recognize this holy, by the way, WHOLE means all of it. Probably a lot of us haven't been saying this is holy, holy, fully holy. And so I just invite you to recognize that the sacred journey we're on is fully holy. And the way that we learn and grow and expand and find that center and that peace is to turn within. So we're going to spend just a few moments in meditation, just reminding us that that daily practice is so important, of centering, of turning within, of experiencing the holy holiness of all of us.
When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper. My heart goes deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper. My heart goes deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper. My soul goes deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper. My soul goes deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray.
Right here, right now, as we continue to relax our bodies, allowing that chair to just hold us right here, right now, right where I am in this sacred life journey. I open, turning within, letting go, and centering. And that sacred knowing. I am one with God, with this infinite intelligence. I am. I breathe that in, recognizing that the vitalizing energy of the universe moves through me now. I allow that movement of spirit to move through every cell in my body. I breathe it in. I recognize from my toes, at my calves, my thighs, my torso, my shoulders, up to the top of my head, life, pure divine life, the vitalizing intelligence of the universe moves through me now. And in the silence, I rest in the knowing that I am life. I am filled with divine energy, divine ideas, and I simply breathe in the silence. As I continue to be open to the vitalizing movement of spirit within my body, within my life, and within this world, I recognize that I am a channel for the infinite. I am the divine idea in expression. And I say, yes, here I am. Move through me. And so it is. Amen.
Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come while living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Yes, I am. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? Will I have the health of mind and body to take care of myself, live a life of grace and wholeness? I wonder and I ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives and moves and breathes am the place where God shows up. You are the place where God lives and moves and breathes and has its being. You are the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I'm the place where God shows up. One more time, saying I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
Wow. Thank you, LaRonda and Mark. I am the place where God shows up. What happens in our lives when we have the courage to live with that knowing? That this presence and power moves through us. Wasn't it Rumi that says, you are the universe in ecstatic motion? What would happen if we turned that to I am? I am the universe in ecstatic motion. All of this change that desires to come into our world. Anybody getting the message pretty clearly that change is a requirement? Most of us know that change is the constant. We'd rather push it out of our minds and just try and get life to, I should speak for myself. I live this way and continue to work to know that change is the constant. But often it's like, if I could just get it to stay right here, right now, we'd have everything in order and I'd be, okay. But then life changes and we can feel it right now because it's not just in our individual lives. Culturally, we're going through major changes. We're at a place, in fact, I heard a word this week that I really, really enjoyed. It was from a unity minister giving a message, and she said, culturally, we're in a place of dissonance. And I had to go back and really work with that and look at that. That means that the thoughts that we have right here and the actions and the systems and the way that we live our lives over here aren't the same. Now, I know every one of us lives in a place where there is dissonance as we work to know I am the place where God lives. And sometimes we live from a place of I'm not enough, I'm not going to make it through, there's not. And so life shows us pretty fast where that is, where that difference is. And we're called to bring that into harmony. For the first time for me, I'm seeing a cultural place where the two ideas that are here, one of every being having value and worth and being free, and systems that do not support this, I'm seeing where they're just not being allowed to coexist. Have you noticed? It gets to a place where literally what is can no longer be when it's not working. And that's where evolution comes in and says, let's pull this apart and let's recreate. But we're the ones that are the recreators. Anybody? It's like, what? Wait a minute, who am I? So as we look at our lives and every day, and what I've really been asking is, how do we meet this day? Every week when I come in, the question I'm answering is, what's mine to do today so that I meet this way and this day in the highest way that I know at this time, trusting that tomorrow will be higher and wider and broader. But it's really, I see many of us in that space of how do I meet this day? What is it to know? We're actually, if you were keeping count, we're actually in the last week of a 12-week series. Most of you don't even realize we were doing a 12-week series, but some of you do. We had 5 spirit groups that met and did all of these powers, these 12 powers, and we did it. The funny part was when we scheduled that, we said, well, we have no idea what'll be happening. We don't even know if we'll be meeting in person. We don't know. Just realize how much change has happened even since we scheduled that, which was just probably 4 months ago. It was really like, well, what's going to be happening here? I don't know. And so we decided, well, the best thing we can do is move into looking at what's within us. Because every day we wake up and the opportunity is to know what's within us and to trust what's within us and then to step forward with that. However, sometimes stuff from the outside comes in and we forget who we are, that we are this universe. God, the infinite presence. We are God. We are an expression. This movement of spirit moves through us. The intelligence moves through us. We're the channels, these spacesuits that we wear for a certain part of our lives, for as long as we're on this journey, and then we let them go. We say, that one, I've done that. I've learned and I've grown, I've evolved, and now it's something else. But these spacesuits, that's where we're moving. And so I'm going back, I got a little farther off, so this 12 weeks, we've actually done faith, we've done will, we've done understanding, we've done imagination, we've done power, we have done zeal, we have done love and wisdom, order, strength, renunciation, letting go, and this week we're doing life, the actual quality of divine life. Now, how I grew up and what our youth learn in their journey down in the youth and family ministry is that all of these qualities are within them. These are aspects of the infinite, of God, and that they show up in us. Now, life is an interesting quality. Life has been interesting lately, hasn't it? But there's an essence of being. Ernest Holmes says, there is a power for good and I can use it. There is a quantum field, it's God, it's infinite, and it's within us also. What I noticed with the power of life in me over the pandemic was that it went down. Did any of you feel like there was just this, like something was just holding things down? We're in our houses, we're in our places, and okay, one person said yes. Did anybody else feel like I want to ask it again. Did anybody feel like there was this, it was like, okay, how do I get through my day? How do I get through this? What do I do? What I recognize is part of this is calling back forth the life energy that's within each of us. So if we're all a part of this quantum field, first of all, that means what I talked about before, the substance that's everywhere present has those qualities within it. And we have those qualities within it. And so part of what I've been doing is beginning to call back the life energy in my being, because that's the being that's around us, and to acknowledge it and to recognize it and to move through it. And you can actually move and shape and form the energy you have in your life and in your being simply by calling it forth and inviting it into your life and into your journey and into who you are, and then beginning to act from it. We also have the opportunity of just going around saying, it's hard. I'm not going to get through this day. Look what is happening around us. How does that feel? Do you go, huh? That's the life energy. So we get to decide really how we use that. But part of it, first of all, is just calling it forth. Recognizing the vitalizing energy of the universe is within us. We are a part of the quantum field. It is holographic, which means the whole of the essence of all of it is within every part. And that's us. We're a part. All of us. Now, we can't say, I have it and you don't. And so I just invite you to look at your thoughts and to say, if you're saying, well, what about those people? They don't have it. Then probably we're in some kind of dissonance. We're in some kind of place of saying, oh, wait a minute, this doesn't go together. So part of this journey is focusing on ourselves, calling forth the energy, the life, the wisdom that's there, and standing in it, even when that the saboteur part of ourselves says, it's not there, you're not going to do this, we're not going to get anywhere, this is, what's happening. Reverend Ogun Holder said something that was very interesting. He said, in truth, almost everything that happened during the pandemic was likely a trigger for some soul-level injury we've been ignoring for years, or that we buried so deep we almost forgot it existed. As we're moving through the pandemic, I'm just starting to read and to hear of all these different realizations of, whoa, generational trauma was pulled up. Trauma we got, and I don't believe this is bad. Is it easy? I don't know if you all realize it, but what Pierre Teilhard Chardin said is he said, we are the generation that has said yes to the inner evolution. And many people said, oh, good, we're done with the outer evolution. Do you know what inner evolution means? It means absolute raw change. It means letting go of generations of ideas we were gifted. I'm not enough. I'm a sinner. I'm this, they're that, they're this. I mean, it's all of these things. So it brings it up. He said that's what the pandemic does. And his article, this was from Unity Magazine, Divine Disruption, the not-so-hidden gift of the pandemic. It brings our stuff up. What happens when stuff comes up? It comes up to be healed. Will we open to allowing it to be healed in us? And he said, when we are triggered, it's an opportunity for healing deep wounds. Some of us might be looking forward to the world reopening so we can go back to ignoring our pandemic-triggered wounds. Not looking at our wounds doesn't mean they don't influence how we walk in the world. How many of us wake up in the morning and don't say, I love you. I'm willing to stand for you. I believe in you. Share your light. If we don't, that's stuff we've gathered from somewhere along the way. The invitation now is to allow it to come forward and to move through us. Inner peace requires inner healing. It requires that we heal some of that. And so where do we do that? Maya Angelou got it so well. She said, if you must look back, do so forgivingly. If you must look forward, do so prayerfully. However, the wisest thing you can do is to be present in the present gratefully. So what if we start by being present in the present gratefully? And then taking the breath of the pieces that come up. And instead of saying no, simply saying, I'm a channel. I'm enough right where I am. I love myself. I've got the vitalizing power of the universe within me. And I believe that who I am is enough for all that is present in my life. So as we do that, I believe we find something larger than we have maybe looked at before, because we're invited into and required to not just evolve ourselves, but then to move into evolving humanity. We're right in the middle of it. And that means we have to look at the ideas that come up in us and find out where there's dissonance, where one idea doesn't meet another. And we got to look at it and have enough space in our hearts to hold it. So how do we, my question every day, especially when something comes up, anybody have any days this week when just something came up and that was it? You'd gotten to your point. We have 2 people. Okay, well, there are a few more. It's like, what do I do now? I have handled this. I've handled this. I've gone through this. I've worked with this. I go to that church in these places and I read these books. Don't I get a pass here? It's like I do these things. And then we get to a place where I believe where it's just like, and this too. I know we're large enough for everything in our world. And my desire for every one of us is when that happens to just lean in and love. Lean in and love ourselves. We don't have to make the mad dash of fight or flight or phasing out or all the things that we do. What would happen if we just leaned in and loved? Supported ourselves. Okay, so what happens? What do I do next? Where do I go here? What do I do? Our life is filled with these events where we get to a place and the universe says, so do you love yourself here? Do you love yourself here? I have to laugh, and this is a story you probably don't want to hear, but basically my teenager and I made the decision that since the dog was getting in the trash and he pulls pieces out one at a time and chews them up and lays them very nicely in a row. And every no I have does not seem to help. So yes, I need a new trash can. Yes, this has a lid, and for some reason he has figured out how to get it open. So we decided to leave him in the crate. We weren't gone that long. I thought, this is good. Everything's settled. He's gone to the bathroom. He's done all the things. Well, evidently, it wasn't settled in his system. And when we came home, there is poop in the crate, and he's covered in it. And I looked at life, and I had dropped my teenager off, so it's me and a crate and a dog, and it is about 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, okay, God, what is here? And so I just simply looked at it, and I thought, I'm talking about leaning in and loving and calling forth life. I was like, no, this is not happening right now. I am not dealing with this. And I start dragging the crate out. He's all excited. He's all over the place. I'm out. Do you know what I did? I pulled it is an all-purpose cleaner that is organic. I pulled the spray bottle of that and the hose outside, and I'm trying to spray him off and do it. I did that for about a half an hour, and I get back inside and realize he's covered all underneath. And so so life just simply keeps saying, there you go. I went upstairs. I was like, okay, we'll take a shower together. So I am pushing a 100-pound dog into a shower that he has no intention to go into. When I decided, well, I better close the curtains. The curtains fall down. And a friend had been in to help. They came down, and I was just like, all right, God, this is going to work. And I'm doing affirmations while I'm behind this dog pushing him. I did eventually get him in the shower. He is completely clean. He looked at me, and I just looked at life, and I thought, if I can't love myself, yes, I realized that was a really dumb decision. The little pieces of trash you can pick up. It would have been much easier to pick those up. Honestly, it would have been much easier to pick up a little pile of, I'm not even going to say the word again, and clean the carpet. Instead, now then I have a crate that's out there, and I got to go in and clean all that and clean. It was just, I realized life is creating opportunities. Now that's all I can say. Everywhere I look. So I have to decide, does this have life in it? Does it have love in it? Does it have the essence of spirit? And those are funny ones. But it's also when I'm walking next to someone who is experiencing houselessness. Life is creating huge opportunities, and they're both there. And somewhere we're called to love ourselves, which is the life energy of the universe. We are acknowledging the life energy of the universe within ourselves. Then we are called to love what's happening. Every being involved has that life energy within them. I don't know where that person's been, how many experiences like the one I had actually showed up in their life, but it's not mine to know. Mine is to lean into the situation, to love all I can, and when I can't, to take it home, to journal it, to work through it, to pray with it, and to find a larger picture. as humanity, we came to hold that idea. I think when I say, how do I do it? One of the examples I looked at this week, I don't know how many of you have looked up and heard about LeBron James's I Promise school. It's fascinating. You need to look it up. You can get some of the YouTube videos. You can look up what it is. LeBron James, in I don't know what year it was that he decided very early in his career, he said, just a normal kid from Akron who didn't have what he needed when he grew up. He said, I want to make a difference in my hometown. And they took a percentage of the kids. He began a program, and he said, I make promises to myself, to my family. I make promises. What he's doing is they're affirmations. They are affirmations of what he sees and is willing to do. And they took a number, I think it was 340 to start with, of the lower 25% of the public schools in Akron at third grade, where they can actually identify who's at risk, and they began putting support around them. This idea grew and grew until he actually had a school, and they went to an I Promise school. And that school, they begin every day with I promise. And these affirmations that they say, they're fascinating. I was hopefully gonna share some of them with you. I mean, they start out in third grade with just, I promise to go to school. I promise to do all my homework. I promise to listen to my teachers because they help me learn. I promise to ask questions and find answers. I promise to never give up, no matter what. I promise to always try my best. I promise to be helpful and respectful to others. I promise to live a healthy life by eating right and being active. I promise to make good choices for myself. I promise to have fun. And above all else, I promise to finish school. Now, these are third graders that have a very low expectancy of graduating. This year, the first class graduated. They moved into the I Promise school, and with that, they get, they receive uniforms, transportation for every student that lives more than 2 miles away. Every student gets breakfast, lunch, and snacks. College tuition for 4 years for all that are graduated. He got through University of Akron or Kent State University. There's a food pantry for all families and students. He opened up an I Promise village where literally the houseless families that were within that cohort all have a place. It's amazing the support. The parents were helped to get GEDs. I mean, this has grown. He said, I promised myself I would come back and make a difference in my town. And he never stopped that promise, even years when he had a really rough time. But he continued to do it, and he continued to work wise enough with big companies that literally they have created a foundation where these kids have support everywhere. The parents have support. Every kid gets a bicycle and a bicycle helmet and training in how to use it. It's an amazing foundation of what they've done, and now they're hearing what happens when that support and that community are there. My invitation to us is to start saying, during this time, are there promises we'd like to make to ourselves? Just beginning with, I promise to show up every day. I promise to love myself. I promise to know I'm one with God. I mean, these are big promises, but maybe yours is just, I promise to believe in who I am. I promise to know that life will support me. What we're doing. So start with a promise. I looked this week at what are my promises. By the way, by the time these kids get into high school, they're creating their own. And there are certain ones that they have to have, including I will get up every time I fall. I promise to get up every time I fall. What is your promise? What is your practice of leaning in and loving? And what is your willingness to touch another life? Because the overall idea of I promise is we are family. We're all going through the change, this change in the culture. We can feel it. It's grinding us, moving us. It shows up in our daily life. And it's here to create a world that works for all. It's here to allow an opportunity for us to love in a larger way. So my invitation to us is to begin to lean in and love who you are. Figure out your promises of your day and keep them. And I don't mean if we fall, my promise is to love myself. I love you, sweetie. We blew that one. I'm going to get up and do it again. And then to move out into how do I touch the world? Because we are family. Thank you. We are blessed. We are blessed. All right, we are going to receive our tithes and our love offerings, and we're still working this out. We are not doing it in this room in the same way we did. There's an offering basket out in the back. We're still working how to do that. If you would like, you can also go to unityofportland.org. There's ways to give. There is a new number in how you do it when you're on your cell phone. You text the word Unity of Portland, all lowercase, all one word, to a phone number. It is 833, I think, maybe we don't have it. Oh, they have it up there, but we'll get it on the screen for next week. 833-814-3477. So 833-814-3477. All of the communities who use this have moved to larger numbers. Evidently, there's too many of them. So I just want you to know, though, that part of the life force is in all that we have. The material world is not real. It's energy that's slowed down. Part of this holding a space and calling forth the life force is recognizing there's enough for me to make it through, to do what I need to do. There's enough for every part of humanity, and we're just calling it into the perfect order. So as we hold our gifts in our hands, and we recognize that we're a part of the flow of the universe, that who we are and what we give it's a movement from us. And being able to give freely and to allow a flow is part of that journey of allowing life to move through us. So holding their gifts in our hands and saying, divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Let's affirm that together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And we hold that and we know that, and we say yes to that.
I didn't even have to ask you to clap. Look at there. Oh. Oh, I'm walking in the Spirit. I'm talking in the Spirit. I'm learning from the Spirit, and I'm turning to the Spirit. I'm growing in the Spirit, and it's showing, yeah. Oh, I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me, yeah. Walking in the Spirit. I'm talking in the Spirit. I'm learning from the Spirit. I'm turning to the Spirit. I'm growing, and I know that it's showing. I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me. Yeah. All right now. Now when I find myself in one of those situations that's leading to some kind of drama or confrontation, you know what I do? I go within and get plugged into my friend before it's too late. I put the Spirit in front of me and make those crooked places straight. And I'm walking in the Spirit. I'm talking in the Spirit. I'm learning from the Spirit, and I'm turning to the Spirit. I'm growing, tell you one more thing. When I find myself in one of those situations, when I just don't know what to do, I got no explanation. I go within, I get plugged in for a revelation, and 10 times out of 9 things will work out fine without my participation. Oh, I'm walking, yeah, and I'm talking. You know that I'm learning and I'm turning. I am growing, and it shows when I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me. Come on, Mark. You want to play a little? Some love, y'all. Oh, I'm walking in the Spirit. I'm talking to the Spirit. I'm learning from the Spirit, and I'm turning to the Spirit. I'm growing in the Spirit, and it's growth is showing. I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me. I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me. Yeah. I am walking with the Spirit in front. Oh, with the Spirit in front of me.
Wow, wow, wow. I am walking with the Spirit in front of me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I realize I don't even know if I asked you. We're going to sing Are You Thin? With this little light of mine, as we recognize each one of these beings is a creation of the infinite. Our job as a community around them is to encircle them in love, in the realization you are the universe in ecstatic motion. You are filled with that light.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Hey, Jonah. I'll take this one. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. By the way, I just learned that Juniper is almost 6, and after the summer, she's beginning kindergarten. Exciting things, exciting things. Thank you for being with us. We are so grateful. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate you being here. Hello. So as we stand and just hold the space that recognizing our consciousness expands around this globe for peace on this planet, we're going to sing Let There Be Peace on Earth, and let it begin with me.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was made in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Oh, yes, let there be peace on earth. That is what we get to know and to allow to vibrate through us. Remember that LaRonda has CDs out in the entryway, and we are just going to hold this space for this unity prayer and this knowing that the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And we are so blessed. There are chaplains to pray with you. If you would like one-on-one prayer, please come forward and they will pray with you. And we say, thank you, God.